Hi, I'm Byron Ernest, and I am the Agriculture Department Head at Lebanon High School in Lebanon, Indiana. I was 2010 Indiana Teacher of the Year, and I'd like to share some of my thoughts on teacher leadership with you today. To start off with, I'd like to share with you my mission statement that I have for teaching, and that is that I strive to be a steward of high student achievement through rigor, relevance, and relationships. No matter what our position in school, we need to be leaders. We need to be teacher leaders, and that means leading from wherever you are in that corporation. We need to be true leaders in becoming a learning organization where we do collaborative learning and where we share the learning and the knowledge that we gain as we work throughout. Education has become such a complex and global industry that we also need to be able to make that learning very local, bring it back to that individual, and the only way to do that is for us to become a collaborative organization where everyone learns together, everyone shares that learning, and everyone's not afraid to make mistakes and to try new things. When we look at teachers becoming true teacher leaders, I think back to an experience where our present principal, Mr. O'Rourke, asked me before he even became principal, and it looked like that he was going to be the one for that position. He brought me in one day and he said, you know, I am going to form what we're going to call the Tiger Leadership Team, which is our teacher leadership organization that we work with the school on our professional development and school culture. And he said, you know, we are working toward really being a learning organization, truly learning from one another in a collaborative environment, and I would like for you to be a part of that group to further that culture. And it's been my pleasure to serve on that group and to be able to, what I think, improve our culture to where we are truly a learning culture where we learn from each other and are not afraid to share ideas or try new things. Excellence in learning has to come from a passion to both learn collaboratively and individually. Professional development for teachers has to become personal. You have to want to learn to get better in your facilitating of learning for students. Being a master teacher is not a destination, it's a journey, and every teacher has to continue that journey all throughout their entire career. Our department, as a department head, I employ activities where I become a cheerleader or a mentor to those teachers within our department. One of the things that we have done is that we have formed cross-department collaborations where we get together with other departments for them to learn from us and us to learn from them. For example, the English department, we've gotten together with them to go through MLA citing so that our students in their research are doing the same things that they do in their department. It's really neat when they can come to us and say, you know, when we got onto that particular subject and they were doing research papers, they already knew how to do those citings because they'd done that in our courses as well. The math department, we got together with them just recently to look at how they analyze their benchmark assessments to get the data for learning as opposed to just doing summative assessments of learning. And so those are just some of the things that we work together to try to form a true learning organization where we're all learning from each other within our school. When speaking of accountability in education, we all need to strive toward having our classrooms become standards-based. And when I say standards-based, that means that everything that we do, everything that we used to call a quiz, a test, an assignment, a worksheet, all need to become true standards-based assessments for learning. And if we begin to use those and we begin to use the standards as our benchmarks of where we are in courses, we're able to step back and have good predictive value on where our students are going to perform when they get to those high-stakes state exams. Another component of accountability and becoming a teacher leader is that we need to flatten the hierarchies in our school to where everyone can assume some type of leadership role. It does not have to be a principal who takes on the role of mentoring a younger teacher who is needing help. Or a more experienced teacher who, for example, maybe needs help with technology. It needs to be led from wherever you are. Every teacher needs to accept those roles that they're able to do from where they are, whatever class they happen to be teaching, and wherever they are experience-wise. I like to call it reverse mentoring. I have teachers who are in their first through fifth year that I learn from every day, and certainly it's usually we look to the more experienced teacher as the mentor, but I think we need to get into a habit of looking both directions as we look at that from a teacher leadership standpoint. We need to begin to look at schools and education from a systems approach. That meaning that what I do in my classroom affects every other classroom that student is going to be in every single day. And if every teacher begins to look at it that way, we'll be able to certainly impact their achievement and their performance as they work through education. In reframing leadership in education, we must encourage teacher leaders to influence other teachers and further the vision of the school. This reframing of education focuses more on the outcome, not on the journey. Education has in the past focused more on processes and journey than on the goal of standards mastery. Through this experience, I learned that we must reinvent classrooms to be places where young people are challenged and engaged, where young people understand what they study and why, and where they have a sense that they belong.